Well, here we are, end of the semester. I'm near the end of finishing up my work on all your submissions, and we are nearing the end of the class, but not, I hope and emphasize, to the end of your intentional journey with Christian spiritual formation. I hope and pray that what was begun or underscored during these 15 weeks will form the basis for a continued journey with Jesus, toward Jesus, and ultimately the goal of Christ-likeness. Just a few words about your examen that may not need to be said. I don't know, but I want to say anyway. First, an examen is not meant to be static or a one and done. It is in itself a practice that can be used under many different circumstances and for different reasons, different occasions. It's a tool, that's what a practice is, designed not to create a spirit of judgment, yes, introspection, reflection, not judgment, to help us do the ongoing important work of self-examination, self-reflection. It is not meant to be a cause that leads to a sense of failure. As you all know, life happens. And then if we're paying attention to ourselves, to life, to God, at work in our lives, we regroup. When our examen says, something's not right, something's not working, I've discovered this, I've learned this, and now what do I do with this? Well, we regroup, we reset, we reevaluate, we edit, assess, and set new direction for our lives through the use of the examen. Where is God calling me? The examen is meant to be life-giving and provide a way to move forward in the face of what all of you have often described as life's chaos and challenge. In other words, an examen is a form of prayer, especially if we listen carefully to God in its preparation, in its use. It is a way of assessing our past, our present, and can be used to help determine a way forward into the future. Second, don't forget this practice. Don't let it end up as just another completed assignment. It's about life change. I encourage you to set a time on your calendar. The one in your pocket, this one, the one on your wrist, or if you're into retro, the one hanging on your wall. Set a date, a time, a place. Make it a regular practice. I use the examen every year at New Year's. But it can be used for birthdays, anniversaries, other major life happenings, celebrations. Start with your last examen. As you move forward, read it, reflect on it. Do whatever it is you need to do with it. Start again. Confess your lack of attention and pray that the Holy Spirit will hold you accountable in the future. Invite someone else to walk with you in an accountability relationship. Celebrate that God is at work in your lives even when you don't know it. Or even conclude that, this tool, this examen, is not for you. And then find another tool. But don't give up. Find a way to live a life of resistance, a countercultural life against the oppression of the world. I believe with all my heart that living as followers of Jesus requires us to resist the powers and principalities. In fact, I believe when it comes right down to it, that the only choice we have in regard to that is to resist or to surrender. Third, I would remind all of us that God does not call us to excellence or to perfection. I know there's that passage in the New Testament. Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. We are not our Father in heaven. We are not God. We are who we are. And we strive toward being the best person under God we can be. So we don't try to be perfect. Instead, the call of God on our lives is to faithfulness and integrity. Living our lives in deep relationship with God through Jesus Christ. This is not an excuse for laziness or sloppiness, but to a transformational connection to the Creator of the universe, who loves you, loves us, and desires to be with us above all else. There's a great quotation from Nouwen that some of you have recorded in your reflections on Nouwen's work. He says, in a strange way, the spiritual life isn't useful or successful, but is meant to be fruitful. And fruitfulness comes out of brokenness. Finally, allow me to conclude this farewell with a statement of gratitude and appreciation for your presence in this class, for your thoughtful work, for the transparency and vulnerability of your responses. You have challenged me by your work, your ideas, your engagement, your vulnerability. You have helped me along on my own journey of spiritual formation. I am so grateful for that, and certainly pray that God will continue to bless you as you continue your journey at Anderson University and beyond. Even more, your continuing pursuit of your adventure with God. Oh, and before I forget, please go to Canvas, fill out the course evaluation you'll find there. It's important on so many levels. It's important to me. It's important to the university. It's important to the School of Theology and Christian Ministry. We need your input. And finally, well, I might say it's also important for future generations who may take this course, because, well, at least I pay attention to what you say. And finally, an invitation. I'm not going very far away during the summer, in the neighborhood, so to speak, and you have access to my phone number. If you're ever where we might meet and you'd like to, I'd love to check in with you and see how life is going. When you call, text, make sure you identify who you are, and then we'll see what can happen. But for now, blessings on your journey, traveling mercies on your pilgrimage.